You see, it's simply ingrained in the European collective's culture. They inherently lack trust in one another. These were tribes who battled each other for many, many centuries. They don't trust anything. Now it's gotten better. Let me mention this point. It's important. Now, this is a separate issue. The increasing power of right-wing movements in Europe. Well, look, recently, right now, there are so many votes out there. You're seeing so many series, Vikings, Germans. There are so many series of this type that you're watching, just like movies. There are also a lot of really captivating series out there. For instance, take The Last Kingdom. That story of Uhtred, you know, and all that.
It's playing on
Exactly.
TV again.
Well, this is The Last Kingdom. It's a really good series. You should sit down and watch it. What I want to say is, watch this to truly understand what Europe was like back then.
England? What was England supposed to be back then? An army of 500 men or 200? Just give me 300 or 400 good soldiers and I will go and take that whole territory back for you right now. Skill was never really the right measure for these types. Just a bunch of savages.
They are just a bunch of savages. And I mean that literally. I'm not talking about 2,000 years ago.
This conversation happened about 800 years ago. Okay, kind of like that.
These have become their public unconscious culture, what Jung would call their collective unconscious. They distrust everyone. These people are extremely opportunistic. They have absolutely no concept of chivalry or gallantry.
Lack of commitment to the deal and stuff? No.
It's just a part of their very existence. America truly is the very essence of these people. Yes, America, you know, those scoundrels of theirs who fled from Europe and went over there. Well, the English, they were much more gentlemanly than these folks. They said, man, he says, it's just an ocean. Look, you have to be truly insane, really stubborn to cross an entire ocean and then say, we found this land over there, let's go and simply take it.
Think about it. For many, many years, Arabs and Muslims had trade exchanges with Native Americans before that. What does it even mean to say it was discovered? On Muslim maps, it was clearly shown as the American islands because they would frequent that very coast to conduct their trade, and then they'd meticulously draw it on their maps. They say they arrived there. That's the narrative. Now,
They called it a discovery.
Just think,
They
reach
refer to
India.
them as Red Indians. Red Indian. They were like, didn't you think they'd traveled all the way around the other side of the earth? Because that's just how these people are.
This is their culture. It is an essential part of their very existence. Just like, for example, it wasn't as if we all suddenly became Shia out of nowhere. Conquests were always a fundamental part of the Iranian culture. Even before the arrival of Islam, chivalry was a core part of their culture. They loved the figure of Siavash. Why do they love Siavash so much? Because he was a man of chivalry.
Even now, our people inherently appreciate a chivalrous person.
Everyone's watching this Push-to-Share series they're showing. I went and read the comments. They wrote, let anyone be the killer, just not Reza Parvane. Well, why? Because he's a symbol of chivalry, loyalty, and such. But our culture doesn't have such a concept at all.
So don't expect anything from these people at all.
You didn't secure it with 6 locks. You didn't assign 60 people to oversee it. You didn't even bother to put it in a safe. You might as well just hand it over to a thief. Don't hand it over to these specific people. Is Kerry's signature truly a reliable guarantee? This was the absolute peak of foolishness and Western understanding. It was Western ignorance in the truest sense of the word. They themselves show no mercy to one another. They are like wolves, constantly howling at each other. To truly understand what these were, you should also watch another film. Watch The 13th Warrior. I think Banderas stars in it. Well, that's a beautiful film too. It's dubbed. These films are really beautiful.
Go watch it. This movie is real.
The film Banu is based on a true story. It recounts the tale of Ahmad ibn Fulan, who served as an envoy for Islamic nations in Northern Europe. Yes. Now, these stories circulating claiming he fell in love with the caliph's wife or other such trivialities are pure rubbish. This person had mastered 17 languages of the world. Well, this clearly demonstrates the true nature of Islamic civilization. Their culture, to a certain extent, has slipped away from their grasp. You can clearly observe the significant cultural differences. When a Muslim integrates among these people, what distinct differences do you perceive? You absolutely must watch this film. I guarantee you will thoroughly enjoy it.
Partially in the movie.
It's also a little scary.
It's a little bit scary as well.
The films we must...
But just look how utterly savage they were.
Whose words are these? I mean, what time period are we talking about, for example? Like 1,000, maybe 1,000 years ago, no? Something like that.